YouTube! Today in the Night at Librarian we are doing a book signing book haul. Lately I have been going to so many book signings, which is awesome, and I've been getting so many signed books that I kind of want to do a little video about all of the cool signed books I've been getting lately. To start off, I have hashtag Murder Trending by Gretchen McNeil. This sounds amazing. Basically it's in the near future where there's this app on your phone, and there's this island where they send criminals to, and you can watch them get murdered. So essentially you're just setting criminals on this island with other serial killers, and then if you really like a contestant on this TV show, you can vote for them to live, and then this criminal doesn't get killed off. And if no one votes for you, you're gonna get murdered, and hashtag Murder Trending. This is an arc of it though, and it comes out in August, so there's some time till it comes out, but it sounds awesome and I'm so excited I have a copy now. Next up, I have Ship It by Britta London. This is about a girl named Claire who is a super fan of this TV show, and then she wins a contest and she gets to go to a Comic-Con kind of thing to meet the cast and ask some questions and stuff, and basically she's just to the two male leads of the show, she's like, do you think your characters are ever going to express that, they're in love with each other? And they're just like, what? We didn't think our characters were gay. And it's a thing like that, where she's just like, well, I mean, your characters are obviously gay. So it's kind of the story of Claire and the lead actor from this show, and they form a friendship. And they learn a little thing about love in the end, I'm assuming. But the whole concept of it, it being, fandom related, and sometimes I ship characters on TV shows that aren't together, so I know where she's coming from on this. I am super excited about it. Britta London is also one of the writers for Riverdale, which is my juicy secret. I love Riverdale so much. It's so juicy. Again, this is another arc. This comes out in May of 2018, so I'm excited. I got an advance copy. Next up, I have The Bells by Donnell Clayton, and I met her at the same event as Britta and Gretchen, and it was actually the book launch for The Bells, and I am super excited about this book. Oh my goodness gracious. This is a story about a girl named Camilla, and she's one of the Bells. Essentially, the Bells are this group of women, and they have the power to change you down to your bones. So, everyone in this world is kind of born gray and bland, and then if you have the right, if you can pay a bell to make you beautiful, you can do that. Basically they can change you fundamentally down to your bones. So if you're me, I'm short, I'm 5'3". If I want to be 5'8", I could pay a bell and they would grow me taller. And then if I wanted all these different features, they can make my eyes a different color and essential, whatever, they can change you. And I'm assuming something goes wrong. In the blurb, essentially it says, behind the gilded palace walls, there are dark secrets. So I'm assuming something is rotten in the state of Denmark, or the rotten in the state of Orleans, as this takes place in there. So yeah, basically there's this group of women who can make you beautiful for a price, and I'm assuming someone is abusing that privilege. So I am excited to read this. It's a super hypey book, and I'm really excited I have a copy. It was the book launch, so I got to meet Donnell, and she is so wonderful in person as well. And it's signed, it says, may you always find beauty, Donnell Clayton, and I am so excited for this. Next up, I have What We Saw by Erin Hartzler. This is kind of a artistic interpretation of the Steubenville story. If you're not familiar, Steubenville, it was essentially a girl at a high school party was raped by several of the varsity football players. And in this town, when she went to the police, essentially no one wanted to believe her, and the whole town and the teachers and the school, everyone rallied around these boys instead of her. And I mean, they filmed her rape. So obviously they were convicted and they were sent to jail because they should be. And it's kind of from that perspective. It's not the perspective of the victim or the people or the predator. It's a perspective of another girl who was at the party and saw all the people involved. And it's about what happens in this town when no one believes the victim and everyone believes like the predators. So I think it's going to be very thought-provoking. It's definitely not going to be a lot of laughs. It's going to be a hard read. I think this one's going to hurt. Like, just thinking about it, it's going to be a tough read. But I think it's very important for these type of stories to exist, and I'm glad that Aaron Hartzler wanted to write this. Again, signed. It says, "For Amanda, look closer, Aaron Hartzler." And he's like an awesome dude, actually. Like, I was really excited to meet him. I didn't really know his work before I met him, but I'm excited. I went to this event and I got his book at the event, and I was just like, well, you're new to me, here. Next up, I have Little and Lion by Brandy Colbert. This is a story about Suzette. She is a teen and she comes home from her boarding school to kind of help out her brother Lionel, but he goes by Lion, and he has bipolar disorder. So there's mental health issues in this book, and basically like the gist is that the brother Lionel and Suzette both kind of fall in love with the same girl. So I assume there will be drama involved. This is a super hypey book, and I've heard nothing but wonderful things about it, and I've wanted to read it for a long time, and I already had the book, and I went to the event that Brandy Colbert was going to be at, so I was like, perfect, I get to meet her and talk to her a little bit about the book. And I was excited because I'm going to read this anyway, so now I've already met the author first. It was signed. It was this big event with all these authors, and it says, "So nice to meet you, and I hope you enjoy." Brandy is a delightful person. I was so glad to meet her. She's like awesome, so I'm super excited to get into this. So I went to the launch for Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings, and I did not know that Lindsay Cummings had written The Murder Complex, and it seems awesome, so I bought a copy before the event so I can get it signed. It's called The Murder Complex. Like, that's winning at titles. Like, that is an awesome title. Like, just because it's called The Murder Complex, I was down to read it. It's kind of a title buy, but I mean, sometimes titles are amazing on purpose, like, because the book is amazing. Now, all of the blurbs, like, on the book are very vague. So I don't feel like explaining what this is about, because I kind of know what it's about, but not well enough to like make it into words that make sense to other people. It's signed. It says, "Amanda, be fearless." So I'm super excited. I mean, it's called Murder Complex. Like, this looks dope. I'm like beside myself with how like awesome this book looks. Another signing I went to recently was for Sightwitch by Susan Dennard, but I'm a monster and I haven't read the books yet, so I did not buy Sightwitch, but I have Truthwitch because I already had bought it and hadn't read it yet. But then I was like, oh, Susan Dennard's coming to town? Cool, I'm gonna go to that. This is very high fantasy. There's this other world, and there's all these different type of witches, and I assume adventure. And Susan Dennard, I'm assuming there's like a Tolkien level of world building in this because she invented languages for these books. I am so excited to get into it. It seems so intricate and complex, and just like, I don't know, I have a million boners for it. I'm so excited. Again, in another side book, it says, "For Amanda, be the truth in a storm of lies." Susan Dennard. Yet another book signing I went to was for The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is her debut novel, and you guys, it sounds amazeballs. It's about this girl named Alice, and she has this grandma who wrote all of these crazy dark fairy tales, and people are obsessed with the book. And the book keeps disappearing, and like no one has a copy anymore, but she still has all these rabid fans. And the grandmother dies, and Alice and her mom, they've been on their own for a long time, and I guess the mom goes missing, and the last thing she tells Alice is, don't go to the Hazelwood, which is where her grandma lived, because there's some shit, I'm assuming. So of course Alice goes because her mom is missing, and I'm assuming what happens is that like all of these like fairy tales that her grandma wrote about were actually true. And I guess the Hazelwood might be like the gateway into the hinterlands, which is where those fairy tales came from. Melissa was really cool to meet. It says, "I went out to the Hazelwood to Amanda." So this is like one of my really hyped up books I really want to read. I was super excited to like go to the signing and meet her, and it's her debut, so I am excited. I'm gonna read this. Like, it has everything I want. Last but not least, I have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And I got to meet her at the same event as Susan Dennard, and she is just a lovely person. And I mean, I know she wrote like the Spiderwick Chronicles, and I hadn't read them. I have not read any of her books. I went to a book signing for author, I had read none of their books, because I just go. Woo! I go to a lot of book signings. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, which ones are your favorites, which ones are your least favorites. Let me know so I know which ones I should definitely be reading first. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon.